It is tax season, people. And whether you have already filed, are working on filing, or already gotten your tax return back, I thought it would be fun to share with you guys what Brian and I decided to do with our tax return this year. So if you are interested in that, then stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly. I'm a wife and homeschool mom of 5 boys. On my channel, I like to talk about budgeting, getting out of debt, saving money, cheap and easy recipes. If those are things that are interesting to you, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. All right, so taxes. Kind of a time of year that I think lots of people dread. I am very lucky and I don't have to file my taxes. My husband Brian does that. So that's nice. That's one thing I don't have to worry about. I know people say that like you really ideally want to get like 0. You don't want to pay in and you don't want to receive any money because that way the government's not holding on your money interest free for the year. But what can you do? We got a tax return. We got money back. So I just wanted to share with you guys what we're going to do. So I'm going to share with you guys in percentages. So to make it easy, I just rounded all the percentages up. So if at the end of this video, you're like, what? This equals up to 102%. That's why. I just thought it would be a lot easier to round these numbers up rather than we're put 2.25% into whatever. First thing we wanted to do with our tax return is get our emergency fund back up. So we follow Dave Ramsey's method of getting out of debt, his baby steps. And if you're interested in how we got out of debt the first time around, I will link that video here. Fun thing that just because you get out of debt doesn't mean you're necessarily going to stay out of debt. So let me tell you people, stay on top of your budgets, careful about that lifestyle creep, because sometimes before you know it, you can get into debt again. And that's what happened to us this year. For a lot of things that were unforeseen. We didn't get into debt for anything fun. So we put 22% of our tax return into our emergency fund. So we now have that up to $1,000, which, let me tell you, having only $1,000 in emergency fund is a little nerve-wracking because I feel like in this economy, like $1,000 doesn't get you very far. But we wanted to at least get it up to the $1,000. And so that's what we did. And we do plan on building up our emergency fund as the coming years progress. So emergency fund is refilled, and that's where 22% of our tax return went. Now, 23% of our tax return went to our car sinking fund. Because a large majority of the debt we incurred in 2022 was vehicle related, because we have old vehicles. If you want to kind of hear about those details, I'll link this video above talking about our life debt update for 2023. But I wanted to make sure that we had a decent amount in the sinking fund just for car repairs. Not to mention, I would like to keep adding to this car sinking fund every month going forward, because I know eventually we're going to need a new car. Our cars are like 12 and 10 years old, I think, at this point. And if we decide to grow our family, we're going to need a bigger vehicle because our van's already at max capacity. And bigger vehicles cost lots of money. And we really, really don't want a car payment. But if we do end up being stuck with a car payment, I really want it to be minimal. And ideally, we don't want any car payments until we're out of debt again. So that's why we put 23% of our tax return towards our car sinking fund. So that way, if something happens and we know that more than likely something is going to break on one of our cars this year, we will have money that we already put aside to take care of that. The next category that we're putting money into is medical bills. We are putting 44% of our tax return for our medical bills, which will actually fully pay them off, which is awesome. We incurred a lot of medical bills last year. Our 3-year-old was in physical therapy, and even with the amount that insurance covered, we still had a very large bill. We also had an ER visit last year. So thankfully all that is now paid off. And my son has graduated from physical therapy for now. So hopefully for 2023, we won't have any more medical bills. Once we do get all of our debt paid off this year, we do plan on starting to put more money into our HSA account so that hopefully we have a little more money set aside in case we have more unforeseen medical things that happen. Because just because you have in general healthy children doesn't mean something isn't going to happen. And we have a fairly high deductible. So it'd be nice to put money aside to help pay for that so we don't get into this situation again. I'd really rather not have to be paying off medical bills all the time with an emergency fund. I'd rather have a separate fund for that. But that's something that we'll be doing in the future once we get the rest of our debt paid off. Did put 11% aside for fun money. In the past, we've always been really responsible with our tax returns. It's always gone towards either paying off debt or like a repair that we needed. I know one year in our old home, we had to buy new doors with our tax return. So we've never really gotten to do anything fun with that money. So this year we did put a percentage aside so that we can have that to do something fun with, which I am excited for, because even when you're paying off debt, I do think it's important to still find ways to enjoy life, to do things that are fun. And you know, sometimes you want to do some things that like maybe are, I don't know. It's just nice every once in a while to do something fun for yourself, right? Am I right? And life is too short. So we're trying to be more intentional about budgeting money monthly going forward, even for fun things. I have a sinking fund specifically for like family, fun, vacations, so that we can put money aside. And ideally, we want to be able to go on like one vacation a year, maybe, even if it's like going a couple hours away somewhere. So that's our dream. Are we there yet? Definitely not. But I think it's good to have dreams, and someday we'd love to do this. So we are putting this money aside for our someday. So guys, that is everything that we did with our tax return. We're those kind of people who like file our tax return immediately. So I don't know. I just thought it would be fun to share kind of what we did with our tax return, because I'm always curious to know what other people do with their tax returns. What do you do with that money? Do you do something fun? Do you go on a vacation? Do you use it to pay off debt? Do you use it to buy a new car? Or, you know, like go towards a new car? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you plan on doing with your tax return this year, if you get one. And again, if you haven't already, don't forget to like this video. And if you have not already, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.